A decade ago, the city was so desperate to get rid of a troubled bar on Central that it paid more than $1 million for it and then tore it down, promising a fancy development there. But today, there's still nothing there, except a different kind of trouble. News 13's Chris McKee pressed the city for answers on special assignment.
It's vacant and it looks awful.
On Central, just up from Louisiana.
They should do something with it.
It's supposed to be Albuquerque's gateway to what the city's dubbed the International District. But neighbors see something else.
It looks sort of unkempt.
It just really looks bad.
Piles of trash, empty liquor bottles, and overgrown trees.
I question that all the time.
The corner of Central and Alcazar is still an eyesore.
It needs help, it really does.
And now the city admits the mess shouldn't be there.
I consider that a problem that exists that shouldn't exist.
It's important for us to do whatever we possibly can moving forward.
The land is the former home of the Blue Spruce Lounge, a magnet for drunken violence that neighbors will never forget.
Just drugs all over the place, people fighting all the time, and it was just really, really bad, yeah.
The city spent more than $1 million to buy the property, then tore the bar down.
2, 3.
It was such a big deal then that Mayor Marty Chavez even joined in on the demolition. The city also made promises. New apartments and shops would be coming soon. They even paid to dress it up with wider sidewalks and public art. But 11 years later,
Because there still are a lot of problems up here.
many neighbors think the city has bailed on them.
It is disappointing because, I mean, it's 10 years. It's just been sitting here.
Does that bother you guys that we haven't had any kind of result at all?
Well, I mean, I think every neighbor and I think developers and those in the business are frustrated with the time lapse and the time delay.
The city blames that delay on the developer it partnered with a decade ago, the people who own the Talon Market across the street.
There was an economic downturn, certainly during those years, so there had to be a couple of other amendments toward that development plan.
Documents show the city extended Limery Investments' deadline to build the project by 6 years. They never built anything.
I think the very next day,
We tried to reach the developer, Victor Limery. He never called us. The city has seen similar decade-long delays with other properties it snapped up on Central, like the Dianza Motel near Nob Hill and El Vado Motel near Old Town. But despite the problems, the mayor's office says the city needs to be in the business of turning around neighborhoods.
Ultimately, the city should and does have a responsibility not just to the property, but to the surrounding residents along that property.
Now the mayor's office wants to break the deal with the developer.
The city's new plan is to get the property back, and they say that should wrap up sometime in the near future. However, before anything ever happens here, it could be a long while.
For that, I feel bad.
Outgoing city councilor Ray Garduno says he recognizes there was a recession, but he says it's not an excuse.
We should have had something in place where we could have moved forward and made good with our word.
Chris McKee, KRQE News 13.